The winning, the witch hunts, the fire, the fury. It's the best presidency ever!
Yesterday, as you know, an American airstrike killed an Iranian general called Qasem Soleimani. But it's no exaggeration to say that by the next time this show airs, we could be engaged in a conflict, a real conflict, with Iran.
It is dangerous to give stupid people little bits of information. So clearly somebody, when they killed Soleimani and then Iran was threatening back, somebody said to Trump, well, they had 52 hostages, and he ran with it.
President Trump didn't say he'd go after a cultural side. Read what he said.
We have targeted 52 Iranian sites representing the 52 American hostages.
In an attempt to keep those 52 sites safe, Iran immediately had a Confederate statue placed at each one.
When I first found out about the coronavirus, I stood still. I didn't know how to react. I didn't make any sudden moves, said the president.
I still like playing it down.
Yes, sir.
Because I don't want to create a panic.
I can't believe this guy made people wait when they needed that stimulus check because he wanted to put his signature on it.
You know what it is? That's what happens when you have like a cool signature. You just want to like sign everything. Look, he would rather be signing titties, but here he is, just all these blank sheets of paper.
Instead of wasting your time signing all those damn checks, you should have just threw out money like you did for the Puerto Ricans.
Thanks to Donald Trump, the economy is doing so poorly that people have to take jobs that are below them. I'm not gonna say I'm talking about myself in this show, but...
And he keeps saying the only reason we have so many cases is because we test more.
You know, testing is a double-edged sword. When you do testing to that extent, you're gonna find more people, you're gonna find more cases. So I said to my people, slow the testing down, please.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, right? And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that?
Look, he wasn't thinking right. If he wanted people to drink disinfectant, he should have had Brett Kavanaugh shout, I like drinking disinfectant. I drink 2 disinfectants, 3 disinfectants. I got a couple of disinfectants in my in my locker right now.
It turns out hydroxychloroquine works about as often as half the people in this video. Yes, me included.
This morning, a grim new prediction. Nearly 300,000 deaths in the U.S. before the new year, according to a research center at the University of Washington.
Where are the ventilators? Where are the gowns? Where's the PPEs? Where are the masks? Where are they?
Let me introduce Jared Kushner to speak about the work that he's been doing, working with FEMA on ensuring a strong supply chain to meet this moment.
Jared Kushner is supposed to manage the coronavirus, make peace in the Middle East, and solve the opioid crisis. That is a huge amount of responsibility to give a guy who doesn't look like he could manage a cheesecake factory.
Jared Kushner. This man has so demeaned the name of Jared that Jared from Subway is thinking of changing his name to Jeffrey Epstein.
It's a disease, without question, has more names than any disease in history. COVID-19, COVID. I say, what's the 19? COVID-19, some people can't explain what the 19. Give me the COVID-19. I said, that's an odd name. Kung flu. I can name 19 different versions of names.
Kung flu is so clever, but it's so racist.
Kung flu, the China virus, the man's just not creative, okay? What about yeast infection?
President Trump says he's not going to wear a mask since he's tested negative for coronavirus and assumes he isn't spreading the disease.
I think wearing a face mask as I greet presidents, prime ministers, dictators, kings, queens, I don't see it for myself.
Honestly, I completely understand. You may not know this about dictators, but when it comes to fashion, they're vicious queens.
In 1917, they say, right? The great pandemic certainly was a terrible thing where they lost anywhere from 50 to 100 million people. Probably ended the Second World War. All the soldiers were sick.
In the middle of COVID, Trump decides to have a rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the date he picks happens to be Juneteenth.
Next Friday is Juneteenth, an annual holiday marking the end of slavery in the U.S. And Tulsa, Oklahoma, 99 years ago this month, witnessed what's described as the single worst incident of racial violence in American history.
See, it's moments like that where I say to myself, don't you ever accuse black people of being angry.
Don't you ever!
We are a patient people.
So
we
patient.
Are a kind people.
So kind.
Because that right there,
that's some bullshit.
That's some bullshit.
Tonight, he's making headlines for controversial comments, telling the Wall Street Journal, quote, "I did something good. I made Juneteenth very famous," taking credit for the holiday, adding, quote, "Nobody had ever heard of it."
I can't let everything that you saying upset me, because if I did, I would just be like,
What's really interesting to me about knowing about Juneteenth is that's what Juneteenth's about, is that black people didn't know they were free. Also, can I say, don't say happy Juneteenth.
And I believe over 1 million people sign up for tickets. And so they've got an overflow area, but it turns out that K-pop fans pulled a prank on him.
Teenagers and online K-pop fans, they're claiming responsibility for this low turnout, allegedly putting in thousands of bogus ticket requests.
They didn't even really need the first stage.
No.
They could have just met in like one of them conference rooms at the hotel.
Yeah, at the Holiday Inn.
By the airport.
Okay.
Would have been cheaper.